Hi there, homespun friends. It is Sherry, and it's great to see you today. I thought I would come along and share with you 12 of my family's favorite things that we buy at Aldi. Now, Aldi is not the only grocery store where we shop throughout the month. We usually go to several different stores, but these are some of our items that we purchase there we love the most. The number one thing that we love to get at Aldi is their spaghetti sauce. For years, I have been buying this particular variety with the purple lid, the tomato, basil, and garlic. When I first started shopping at Aldi, this spaghetti sauce was only 85 cents. It's hard to believe it was that cheap, but now it's $1.59. And I store about a case of this in my house at a time. I think it's a good idea, as a sideline to mention this, that stocking up is important. We never know what kind of emergency we might face. And so in my mind, as a homemaker, I'm always thinking, what is something my family will always eat? And what is something that's reasonably priced that will keep for a long time, so that any type of emergency we might face, we will have something to eat. And the date on this spaghetti sauce is June of 26. And so, that's a couple of years out that you're going to have some spaghetti sauce, and surely by then you will be able to use it. Along with that, we have for $1.89 a 2-pound bag of their spaghetti pasta. And it also has a long date, April 19th, 2027. And so these are things you can put in your pantry, and they can be there for a few months. It's not like you're going to have to use them within the next 2 weeks, or they're not going to be good. Another thing we really enjoy from Aldi are these caramel corn rice cakes. Now, these little rice cakes are a great way to have something sweet. They're 50 calories a piece, and you can also put a little peanut butter on them if you want to add a little protein there. And they are $2.49. And so I like to keep a couple bags of these on hand at all times. Everyone seems to enjoy having them. And then my husband has a favorite thing from Aldi, and that is these wheat thins. They're $2.45 a box. Crackers are getting so expensive now. I've noticed in even a lot of the bigger grocery stores that crackers are, if you get them two boxes for $5, you see that deal once in a while, but it's just so high. So these are $2.45, and one of his very favorite things to have. Another thing I enjoy keeping on hand, we love the organic non-GMO products of the Simply Nature brand that Aldi carries. And this particular free-range chicken broth, the low sodium variety, is one of my favorites for making soups and recipes. If I want salt in it, I will add the salt in there, but that's up to me. I try to keep our salt a little bit on the lower side. I think it's healthier that way for us. And this was $2.49. Let me refer to my receipt so I don't tell you wrong. I brought it out so I could let you know. Let me glance down this very quickly. Yes. Oh no, this is only $1.89. $1.89 for the chicken broth. I knew I would probably tell you a wrong price somewhere along the way. For $1.25, we love getting their distilled white vinegar. It's a really large 1-quart bottle. We use this for a number of things. We often cut up like fresh cucumbers and put a little vinegar in there and salt and pepper. It's kind of good to have, and chop up some tomatoes and onion in there too and make a little mixture. But we a lot of times, mainly use this for when we can things, and we will wipe the rims of our jars with the vinegar. Another thing that I do with vinegar, well, there's a million things you can do with vinegar, but sometimes I'll pour a little baking soda down my sink and just put a little bit of this vinegar in there and let it foam up, and run some hot water down there, and it just kind of cleans out any smells that you get down in your kitchen sink, because that happens from time to time. Cake mix. Cake mix. You've heard me refer to in previous videos that my husband makes a lot of cakes for our grandchildren for their birthdays. He makes all kinds of cakes for special occasions. Now, sometimes he will make a cake totally from scratch, like his carrot cakes. Of course, different types, maybe a cheesecake or something. He's not using a regular white cake mix. But the grandchildren love white cake. They really do. They ask for it, and he makes it extra special. He starts with the cake mix, and then he does something. I don't know what he does, but he works some kind of magic on the regular cake mix, and it tastes like amazing and just melts in your mouth. And so these cake mixes are only 99 cents at Aldi, and I am so surprised when I go to other grocery stores and see cake mixes for like $1.99 and $2.49. I mean, I'm stunned. You still can get a cake mix at Aldi for 99 cents. Another pasta that we really enjoy, because I make something called a 7-ingredient pasta salad, is this elbow macaroni. And let me make sure I tell you the price right on this, because once again with these pastas, I sometimes can get them mixed up. It's also $1.89. So you get 2 pounds of pasta here also for $1.89. And then apple cider vinegar. My husband and I love to take in apple cider vinegar about every other day. For a little while there, we were doing it every day, and it can be kind of tough because apple cider vinegar is strong, but it is very good for your digestive system overall. We find that it's very helpful for inflammation. It works kind of like an anti-inflammatory. So we take this. We can't take it though by itself. We try to take a tablespoon once every other day or so, and we put it in some apple juice. And so I'm going to show you the apple juice that we use. We just use a few ounces of apple juice and a tablespoon of this apple cider vinegar in there. This is organic, non-GMO, and it does have the mother. I know that you might not be able to see the little bits that are floating around in there, but the mother is in there. And this apple cider vinegar is only $4.99. And if I go right now up the road to a bigger grocery store and buy the name brand apple cider vinegar that many of you know by name, it's $8.29. So this is a much better deal to purchase this, and we really do like it. And we put it in a few ounces of this apple juice. This is the Simply Nature organic, non-GMO apple juice, and we really like this. I'm trying to think how much this is. I think it was on sale this week is what I was trying to remember. It was $2.39 this week, and I think normally it might be either $2.79 or $2.99. But when it goes on sale, sometimes I'll buy a couple, and we don't drink very much, just a few ounces to put this apple cider vinegar in. But this is a really good option, and when the grandchildren come, especially the little one, and she wants juice, we feel good about giving her something that is organic. And we like to have a treat now and then. This is especially something I like because I love dark chocolate. It's these butter cookies with the dark chocolate. There aren't very many in there. I'm trying to remember if there's 8 or 10. Well, I need to look. Let's see. I think that there's maybe 10 in there. But these cookies are so good. It looks just like this. It has, on one side, it has like the butter cookie part, and on the other side is that little layer of chocolate there, the dark chocolate, and these are $1.99. And it's so nice if you want a treat, just to have one of these. Sometimes I'll do that in, in that late afternoon or evening with just a cup of caffeine-free coffee. And then the last thing I wanted to show you that I purchased at Aldi that I really like is their organic, 100% grass-fed ground beef. You really cannot beat this $85.15 ground beef at Aldi. It's always the lowest price of anywhere. They have a different brand, but a very similar product at the other grocery stores. But I have always had a great experience with this particular Simply Nature brand. And this week you could get this pound of ground beef. Now this is organic ground beef for $3.99 a pound. You really can't beat that for this. So what I did is I bought like 5 packages of this, and I put a couple, 3 or so in the freezer, and then I will use a couple pounds of it over the next couple of weeks. One of the things I love about purchasing my meat this way is that the date on it is always good. If you notice, a lot of times when you go to a grocery store and you buy a package of ground beef, the date on it is tomorrow, like Best Buy tomorrow, or day after tomorrow at the most. And what if something happens and I can't use it by tomorrow? I'm gonna have to try to freeze it really quick, and then and so this date is always good. This date is almost 3 weeks out. So I know that like today is a Tuesday, and so if I can't use this to Friday or maybe even next Monday, it's still great, it's still good, and I can use it to make soup or whatever I decide. And so I like the fact that this always has a wonderful date on it, and you cannot beat the price on sale for $3.99. So there you go, friends. That is 12 of my family's favorite things to purchase at Aldi. I would like to know if you shop there and what are your favorite things that you purchase. What do you think about all these crazy prices that we're seeing on groceries now? I know it's so hard for everyone. We're all trying to pinch our pennies and do what we can to save money. What are some ways that you are doing that on your grocery bill? Thank you for spending time with me, and like always, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.